You are now listening to Shotgun Sports USA. I'm your host, Justin Barker, and I talk to shotgun shooters from all disciplines, championship-winning coaches, gun clubs, world-class target setters, vendors, and industry-leading companies that fuel the sport. If you're into clay target sports, you are at the right place for insider information from some of the best in the world every single week. Check us out online at shotgunsportsusa.com and like us on Facebook and Instagram. Shotgun Sports USA is powered by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Also brought to you by Ultimate Shooting Accessories, Rick Hemingway's Promatic Trap Cells, Sound Gear Fanel, Comp and Choke, Clay Shooter Supply, and Pila Performance Eyewear. One of the first big tournaments of the 2022 season is upon us, and it's the big shoot that has the sporting community by the ears. With $150,000 in guaranteed payout and a beautiful place to shoot, what more could you ask for? My guest today, Tim Davis, the GM of Quail Creek Sporting Ranch, is going to tell you all about it and what to expect. Right now on Shotgun Sports USA. All right, today I'm talking to Tim Davis, GM of Quail Creek Sporting Ranch in Okeechobee, Florida, and host to the brand new Jack Links Cup. Tim, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. And yourself?
I'm great. Glad to have you on. Tim, I don't know you, so tell me a little bit about yourself and what your background is as far as the manager for Quail Creek.
All right, so I actually had a background in being an outfitter, taking people hunting and fishing and experiencing the outdoors. It was called Gladesman Outfitters, as well as being a school teacher at Cardinal Gibbons High School in Fort Lauderdale for 21 years. So that led me to the current owner of Quail Creek Sporting Ranch, who is Troy Link. And after getting this opportunity, this is my about 7th week here on the ranch.
So you're new to it pretty much. Other than the hunting side, the sporting side, you're pretty new to it.
Yes, sir, I am. And every day I'm learning, which is very important, I believe, because we have built an amazing team here. Mm-hmm. The GM before me, his name is Alex, and his wife, Hannah, they did an amazing job of building an infrastructure here.
Right.
So all I did was evolve on top of that. And the team that we have, from the sporting clay course to the hunting side, to the lodging side, to even hiring a concierge, has been an awesome feat.
Now, I was going to ask you, are you still doing the hunting side of things down there at Quail Creek?
Yes, we are moving towards membership.
Really? Tell me about that.
Okay, so the culture that we're trying to build is, of course, be safe, be fun, have fun, and build memories that will last a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, the vision, the culture that we're trying to build is we are going to be a little bit more catering to becoming a member here at Quail Creek Sporting Ranch.
Okay.
That way it's a little bit more controlled, if that makes sense. So we still do quail hunts. We are still open to the public. We're always going to be open to the public on the sporting side. On the hunting side, we are open to the public for our pheasant tower shoots. And we are membership only from the hunting aspect of things for the big game as well as the quail.
So is there a limit? Is there a number of members that you're going to take in?
We're going to try to do 50, and that way it's controlled.
I guess you can just come down there and hunt. If you want a deer hunt, turkey hunt, whatever, I guess you have to schedule it, or how does that work?
Okay, so when we move into the full membership side of things, mm-hmm. We will not be open to the public as far as that goes anymore.
Okay.
But, ultimately speaking, for the remainder of this year, yes, we're still taking bookings on our tower shoots, but everything else is membership.
All right, you mentioned Troy Link. Troy Link is related to Jack Links, which is the beef jerky company. Kind of explain that relationship.
Well, Troy's been a long time sportsman. He's traveled all over the world. I think what what really allowed him to do, and think of this as not having a blueprint. Think of Quail Creek as not having a blueprint.
Okay.
And he has designed a blueprint of what his vision, what he's wanted to build here. But I think he's taken all the good things that he's experienced in his outdoor life and is applying it now to Quail Creek Sporting Ranch. He's got a lifetime of wealth of knowledge. Obviously, he's a phenomenal businessman, as you can see with the actual Jack Links. So he's built that empire, and now I think what his goal is to give people the best possible outdoor experience that they can have.
Well, is he going to be down here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's going to come in on Friday and stay through the weekend.
So this is the first Jack Links Cup of many, I'm sure, and there's been a lot of buzz around the shoot since the announcement. The eye opener was the total purse to be paid out of $150,000 guaranteed, and paying down six places in the main and concurrents. This is something that you don't see too often. So tell me how this event came to life.
Well, after the start, after the purchase of Quail Creek in June, every single week has been building up to the execution of the Jack Link Cup. And we host a lot of shoots here. But as you said, this is revolutionizing the sporting world. I mean, this is the largest purse, I believe, that is offered. Is that correct?
I don't know of another one that's been this big. Maybe an HOA might have been that big, but I don't think so.
What we're trying to do for this shoot is, attract people from all around the world.
Yeah.
And the shooting community is much like the hunting community, in that it's very close knit. Everybody seems to know everybody.
Right.
So with that being said, everybody knowing everybody, I think word of mouth is, and our reputation is going to supersede itself.
I mean, paying out that much money definitely has attracted a lot of people. And I know that it filled up very quick. I think you have over 700 registered shooters. I don't know if you expected it to sell out that quick, but it did.
As of right now, according to Score Chaser, I believe it's 740.
Yeah.
And did we expect it to sell out that quick? I'm not sure. I don't know what the expectations, because I don't know, like I said, about the blueprint. I don't really know what they expected. But right. I can tell you this right now, the shooting world is some of the most competitive people I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like everyone tries to compare it to golf. And there is a little bit of similarities there. But I'm going to tell you, young or old, we've got a wonderful part of our community. It's called the Young Guns.
Right.
And these are youth getting involved in the sport. And coming from a teaching background, I love it. I love getting kids involved in the outdoors. I think some of the greatest lessons you learn in life are the lessons you learn while in the outdoors.
Right.
But the responsibility that these young adults, you see them blossom and bloom. And it's when they're even though they're ultra competitive, after they're done, they give a fist pump to one another and they're cheering each other on. And young and old, you see that. And I think that's important.
I know that some of the best youth shooters, and now, moving into adulthood, they were part of the Young Guns. And
yes,
I mean, they're some of the best in the country, still are, so.
Yes. And one who's hailed and his homecoming will be here is Joseph Finizzi.
Yeah. You ever met Joe?
I have.
Yeah. He's a super nice kid. Super nice.
I have. I had the pleasure of knowing Fred Finizzi for a very long time, and his lovely wife, Maria.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously the previous owner, Whit Hudson. Quail Creek has been around a long time.
Right. And,
Fred at a very young age was out here breaking 100 for 100 on the red course. And I'm calling him the native son. He's coming back. It's going to be a huge homecoming for him. And I welcome the entire family back with open arms. And I can only wish him the best. I wish all my shooters the best, but it's going to be quite amazing to watch him perform and take it to that next level.
I agree.
For sure.
So how long have you been working on this tournament to get it put together?
The day I arrived, December 26th, is when I came on board. And you know, it's always hard coming into situations where it looks like it's midstream of something.
Yeah.
A lot of people in management want to change, and they think change is always the right thing. I'm not I only want to evolve and get better,
Yeah.
and I want to push my team to do that. So as far as being coachable, I believe that I've been coached throughout this, and it's been amazing to watch the community pull together, and the team that I have established here, the staff here, is second to none, and that's what's making this all come together.
Yeah. Is this, are the same staff, are they still working with you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Good.
we
Good.
we've retained, um, and we've just built on top of that, and it piggybacks. And you know, from Vero Beach to Port St. Lucie to Fort Pierce to Okeechobee is basically where these employees come from. So we're pretty remote. They have to travel a pretty good ways to get here to come to work. And it's become its own community. That's the best way I can explain it.
Good. Everybody working together is what it takes, and coming together. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, since the change in ownership of Quail Creek, what has changed there?
What hasn't? We've taken. I'm going to think about it once again, going to the blueprint model. We're taking sprinkling a little bit of the old, sprinkling a little bit of the new, and moving forward with that. Um, Technology and infrastructure here has definitely changed. The course itself has been paved, landscaped, things that to the aesthetics, to the eye when you drive in, even though it has always been Quail Creek. Now there's been a new turn on things,
Right.
um, in the positive way. Um, I would say the biggest changes that have taken place here is once again getting back to the philosophy of boots on the ground. I want to meet every single person that comes through the gates, get to know them, get to know their name, ask them about their family. That's the culture I envision for the owner.
Yeah. All right. So let's do something. Let's move into the big tournament this week. Who is setting the targets on the courses this year, and what should the shooters expect?
Okay. The one and only Doug Vine has been the one in charge of setting the targets. Anyone who's been involved in the shooting world and with sporting clays knows that name, Doug Vine. He has set up challenging courses from the red to the blue to the sub gauge. We're currently shooting FTASC. He has done an amazing job, and people walk off the course and some are shaking their heads while others are just. A comment that was made by Sean at Promatic yesterday to me was, the guy knows how to set a target to right before you pull that trigger, you miss.
Yeah, I've shot them before.
So
That's a fact.
yes, it's extremely challenging. The FTASC course, obviously, the rounds that were going on yesterday, it was quite awesome to watch the teams try to coach each other on breaking the targets. It was an awesome sight.
So they had to figure out how to break it themselves. What you're saying?
Yes, yes.
That's great.
One guy would be standing behind the other, looking down the barrel, and it's challenging. I mean, every part of the course, when you turn the course, the new targets that are set, it's a well-oiled machine. That's the best way I can prove it.
So have you heard any sort of prediction from the target setters on what they think the main event HOA will be, the score?
I have not. That's a great question. I'm gonna write that down right now. That's a great question because, um, what are you trying to walk away with, and who's gonna walk away with it? That's yet to be seen.
Yeah.
I think it's a wide open course, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to know. I know that Doug will set some challenging targets, and still people go down there and put up big numbers. So, who knows what it'll be, but it'd be interesting to know what they thought it would be,
Yeah, I mean, his right-hand man, Abraham Torres, has worked here at Quail Creek for a very long time. His son also works here, Ham. And, along with Doug Vine giving the instruction, and when I say boots on the ground, they're the boots on the ground. They're the ones that are creating this masterpiece. That's the best way I can explain it to you, is truly art form of creating a challenging course, and not just one, multiple.
We know where the main event's going to be. It's the blue and the red.
Correct.
Now, where will FETASC be held this year, and other side events?
Okay, so FETASC this year is on what we call one of the quail fields. You actually travel and you cross over, which would be the north side of the property, and that's the course is set. The 5-stand make or break is right by the clubhouse, and then the blue and the red obviously are the sporting course closest to us.
Right.
The white course, or what we're calling the sub gauge course, is also close. FETASC, on the other hand, is on our quail field on the north side.
So how do you get there? Say you're at the clubhouse. How do you get to the north side of the?
Well, the one thing that we all have learned from the past with parking, anyone who's been in the shooting world or here at Quail Creek, they get to meet one Mr. Frog and Casey Hoover, and they have set up parking, and we are offering shuttle service to everybody who is involved as a shooter, or someone who's just come in for admission to watch the shooting. We have shuttle courses.
Okay.
We also offer every shooter a Deaver cart, so they can take the cart and go out to the fields. It's all manicured roads, so it's not a rough ride out there. So it's moving mass amounts of people quickly and efficiently, so everyone can walk away with a positive experience here at the Jack Links Cup.
You just spoke about parking. Tell me where
Yes.
parking will be this year.
Okay, so parking is there's a couple different locations. The first location let's talk about is the RV parking. That's going to take place on the other side of the road. The one thing about this community up here in Okeechobee is our neighbors have been very accepting and understanding of the magnitude of this event. So they are parking on the east side of the road off of Orange Drive.
Okay.
And then the trailers, because so many people travel trailers, is one lot over. And then the parking as far as you coming into, Quail Creek Sporting Ranch, when you come in, we refer to it as the White Road. But when you come in, there's going to be a greeter. His name is Dwayne. Dwayne's going to greet you. He's going to explain to you, there's a gentleman over there holding the orange flags. Please proceed towards him. And then they line you up. And then if you wish, you could be shuttled to anywhere you want, or, score chasers doing registration, obviously. So they go into registration.
Registration is still in the main clubhouse?
Yes, sir. Score chaser is taking care of that. So you enter into the back door, and once you enter in, the girls there that are working day and night, or night and day, I should say, you come in, you give them their information, and they give you a ticket. And then with that ticket, you go out, receive your registration gift. We put together, our sponsors have been amazing through this, and we've put a gift together for our shooters that is second to none. And then after that, you leave and you start with whatever. If you need to purchase ammo, we have ammo. And Winchester has been our partner on this one, and Winchester gave us a reduced price for this event, and we've passed that on to our shooters.
Good. Ammo, big topic.
Yes.
I know you'll have ammo to sell. Will there be any limitations on what people can buy?
We do have limitations, and the limitation is this: we want everybody to experience the savings on the Winchester ammo, for instance. So The only thing we're limiting as far as ammo goes is what events are you shooting, right? So if you're shooting 50 targets, you don't need two flats of
Right.
Winchester ammo.
Right.
So basically what we're doing is limiting you to what it will take you to get through your event plus a couple boxes.
Right.
So basically 2 flats per shooter is what we're working on currently. We're well established with so many ammunition companies that they put us first, which is a great feeling. And it's we have a surplus of ammo. I'm not afraid of us running out of ammo, not only for this shoot, but we're going to be open the day after Jack Links, business as usual, and we're open back to the public. And those trappers who worked so hard for us throughout the week are going to want to break their targets that they've earned.
Trappers, always a big topic of conversation throughout Sporting Clay's feed task. It's hard to get trappers. I'm assuming that you've got enough trappers to work the whole shoot.
Okay, so the office staff here, let's talk about this. From Demi to Catherine to Renee to Samantha. Now, Courtney. Courtney has contacted hundreds of individuals to come trap. Trappers have been the hardest thing to get because they're coming off the Caribbean, which was a local shoot here. And coming off of that, they're pulled in so many different directions. So, yes, trappers are very, very close-knit family, and word of mouth is extremely important. And I don't know what you're doing this weekend, but love to have you as a trapper.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass on that. A trapping job is a lot harder than a lot of people think. They have to put up with some foul mouth people. They have to, deal with watching. Think about how many targets they really have to watch. I mean, every one of them. And it's a little harder than people think it is.
It's very difficult. It's time consuming. It's a little bit stressful. But we have all the trappers covered, and we have relief trappers as well. And and the one thing, getting people involved in this sport and watching it grow, I would love to see someone come up with a way to school trappers, or even get the youth involved in trapping, because that's the only way. We live in the most beautiful country in the world, and we have the right to bear arms.
Right.
And I think there's such a negative feeling versus the responsibility, the competition level, the ownership of what you're doing. The shooting sport, you're never too young and never too old to be involved in it. You can't play football forever. Trust me, my body knows that more than anybody. But you can shoot for a very long time. And I think it's our responsibility as a sport. It's our responsibility to get more people involved. And I think it's a great way to be involved is being a trapper.
It's a good way to learn the sport for sure, to figure out how it works, and whether or not you're going to like to do it after the shoot's a different story. But I'm glad to hear that. It's always a struggle to find, trappers. So the most important part of this whole event to me is going to be the food. Okay. So what kind of food vendors or whatever do you have lined up to offer the shooters?
All right. So our food and beverage director, his name is Dan. Out at the pavilion, the person who's executing this, well, there's many people, but Cody as well as Rich have come up with a limited menu that is going to blow people away. Every single day, it's made on site. We don't have outside vendors doing that. We have a few food trucks coming. But as far as the shooters go, they want efficient and they want good quality food.
Right.
And that's what Dan, Cody, and Rich, along with all their staff, many hands touch the execution of this, because it's a well-oiled machine. Thursday night we're thanking our vendors with a special dinner.
Right.
Our shooters are going to be able to come in and they can get anything from tuna salad to hot dog, a hamburger, pulled pork. We have some of the best smoked meat, anywhere. There's people from all around that just come here for lunch at the pavilion to stop in and see Cody. So it's one of those things where we're giving you fresh, we're giving you high end quality at a great price. And then on Saturday night is our banquet night, and we're doing prime rib kind of cowboy style.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think Quail Creek has always done some sort of prime rib down there at their big shoot, their big tournaments, I think, from what I can remember.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
yes.
What vendors are going to be on grounds?
Oh, there's so many. I don't want to miss anybody, but we've got Bass Pro, we've got Promatic, we've got Krieghoff, we've got Beretta, Fierce Firearms, we've got Winchester, Kohler. I don't want to miss anybody, but I know I am.
Yeah, it's hard to remember all those people. You're going to have a good bit, though, sitting down there by the clubhouse, I'm sure.
Absolutely. We have vendors row all set up. And, I've actually, I feel like I'm kind of like Ricky Bobby. I'm walking around, shaking hands, kissing babies. And it's amazing how many people are on site right now.
It's a big deal, man. This is going to be a big shoot for you, a big turnout. And, I hope it does great. So you'll do it again. It's always fun. It's good to meet all the people too that you're going to be working with in the future, and see the big names of the sport come in there and put up some big numbers. It's going to be
sure. And what's funny is I've only known these people through email, and now when you meet them in person, you feel like you've known them their whole life.
Yep.
It's a community that I have never been involved with, in the sense of how quick we've grown and truly developed a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
They've all welcomed me with open arms.
It's a tight knit community and very willing to help whenever needed. And, if you ever need any advice, people are there to give it to you. So last question, I'll let you go. I know you're busy. Last question. Okay. Will Natalie's be there, and will beef jerky be on the course?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have had a team come down from Jack Links. We have refreshment stands set up throughout the courses. I think we have a total of 8 tents where you can sample the newest of product to the old school, most favorite of all. And Natalie's will be on site. Natalie's is here. Also, Essential Water is on site for our shooters as well as our observers to have. Natalie's will be located as soon as the red and blue course split, they'll be there on site.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, Tim. Looking forward to meeting you. We'll be down there for sure. I wish you all the best and success at the shoot, and hope everything's good. So
we don't speak about anything negative till afterwards, right?
That's right. But
well, I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope all the listeners out there, if they for some reason or another in this crazy world, they don't get an opportunity to come on by and visit us. We're open from Tuesday through Sunday. So we're here. If anything, you can stop by the pavilion, have yourself a nice lunch, take a walk around, and pick up your shotgun and your shells and get to work after the shoot and have fun.
There you go. All right, Tim. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And I'll be getting in touch with you when I get down there and shake hands and say hey. So I appreciate you, man.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.